Hello, I'm Teacher Apple, and it's math time. Welcome to your math class. Today, let's learn a little bit more about the more than or less than concept. More than is the number that is bigger, less than is the number that is smaller among the numbers that we are comparing. So, the hungry number gator, as we know, will always open its mouth towards the bigger number or the number which is more than the other number, and it will ignore the less than number. For example, 899 and 988, which one is greater or which number is more than the other? We look at the place value of the numbers from left to right. Here, the highest place value is the hundreds. We can see that the highest place value in here is the hundreds column. Here, 8 and 9. When you compare 8 to 9, which one is the bigger number? The bigger number is number 9. So 9 is greater than 8. So here we write our answer like this. 988 is greater than 899. Now, let's try an example with less than concept. So, for example, 899 and 988. In the same numbers, which one is less than compared to the other? We put them in the place value chart like this, and then look at the numbers place value from left to right. 899 is less than 988. You see, the opening of the mouth is towards 988. Okay, let's solve another example. 99 and 999. Which one is lesser? Now look at the place value chart here. We look at the numbers from left to right. We see that in the hundreds place, here we have a number in the second one, and in the first one we don't have a number. That means it's 0. Okay? So now here when we look at this column, we can see that 0 is less than number 9.
$432 and $824. The gator eats the one that's worth more. He looks at the place values from left to right. It's the greatest hundreds place, so he takes a big bite. The hungry alligator eats the number that is greater. The number that is least is never part of his feast. 355 and 332. The gator needs to eat the one with the greater value. He looks at the place values from left to right. 5's the greatest tens place, so he takes a big bite. The hungry alligator eats the number that is greater. The number that is least is never part of his feast. 145 and 149. The gator needs the greater value on the number line. He looks at the place values from left to right. 9's the greatest ones place, so he takes a big bite. The hungry alligator eats the number that is greater. The number that is least is never part of his feast.
Hi there, I'm an alligator, so let's keep this snappy. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you that the greater than symbol goes from big to small, and it's called the greater than symbol. The less than symbol goes from small to big, and it's called the less than symbol. The larger number always goes on the open side of the angle. For example, this reads as 50 is greater than 10, and this is read as 10 is less than 50.
Here, when we have to put these in symbols, 138 is more than 129. Let's put it in symbols. It will be 138 and greater than or more than symbol here, and 129. So 138 is greater than 129. This is how he will read it when we put it in the symbol as well. So how can we write 128 is less than 151 in symbols? We will always think about the hungry alligator. He is opening his mouth towards the bigger number, 151. But we read from left to right. Read the numbers from left to right in here. 128 is less than 151. In symbols, it will look like this. Now, how will you write this in your notebook? 128 is less than 151. In symbols, you will write it like this. Okay, that's very easy. Let's try with another number. You do it by yourself this time. How can we write 322 is less than 411 in symbols? You start from left to right. Now, how can we write 621 is more than 529 in symbols? 621 is the bigger number, so the number gator's mouth opens to the bigger number. Now, we read this from left to right. And what we have, we will write it down in our notebook. 621 is greater than 529. You try this one now. How can we write 720 is more than 629 in symbols? Alright, let's check. 720 is more than 629. Alright, so now let's go to a little bit different concept, that is the distribution. We are going to learn about number distribution. Oh, looks like a really big word, distribution. But it simply just means to break it down. Simply just break down the numbers. Okay, so let's begin grouping of the numbers. So the concept of groupings, let's start from the pictures. Draw the group of missing pictures from here. Look at these pictures. Draw the lines for matching. Circle the more picture and color them. Now look over here. Here we have a set of 20 smileys. Let's count if you don't believe me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are 20 smiley faces in this box. Now it has been split into a box of 10 smileys, a box of 5 smileys. What's missing? 10 smileys and 5 smileys. There are 15 smileys. Now what's missing is 5 more smileys. So we put 5 more smileys in here. Now let us compare the distribution. Here, this big number 20 here has been distributed to 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. Now among these 3 groups, which one is the more than picture? Here, this one. This one is the bigger one, so we circle it because it has 10 smileys and others have only 5. Now, let's look at these pictures. Let's draw the line for matching and then circle the more than picture. Okay, so we have a group of stars in here. To make it easier, I'm going to put a square over it. Okay, so this is one group of stars and this is another group of stars. Here, what we can see is there are 5 stars in a row here, 5 stars in a row here, equal. 5 stars in a row here, 5 stars in a row here, they are equal. 5 stars in a row here, 5 stars in a row here, they are equal. Here are 5 stars in this row, but there are only 2 stars in this row. So we will have to add 3 more stars to make it equal. Okay? So it's very simple. Now, which one is the bigger one? It's very easy. This group is the bigger one. So we will have to circle this one. Because for The other group, we will need to add 3 more stars to make it equal to this group. Now here, we take a group of pens. Here, the group of pens, we divide it into 2 groups, like this. Here, I'm going to group them in a box here so that it's easier for us. So here, the top one. In the top, we have a group of pens. At the bottom, we have the other group of pens. So we will have to match and connect the lines when the pens are equal. 1 pen, 1 pen, you connect, okay? So you do that for the rest of it. But here, there are 3 pens here, but there are no pens left for them to connect. That means we will need to add 3 more pens in here so that it may be equal, but there aren't. Only if we add, then it will be equal. So from this, we can see that at the top, there are more pens than at the bottom. So we circle the top. So here, we take a big circle and circle the top row of pens. Sometimes it's very difficult to look at everything at once and it can be confusing. So distribution is the concept of making things smaller, grouping them so it is easier for us to look at. Okay? Show the missing numbers here. Add 2 numbers equal the number given. For example here, 215. Let's distribute it in 3 groups. How can we distribute? How can we divide these 215 into 3 groups? Well, there are many ways. There are numerous ways you can make 215. Like for example, you can add 163 plus 25 plus 27. The answer will be 215. 99 plus 99 plus 17 equals to 215 as well. 100 plus 59 plus 56 is 215 as well. Well, there are numerous ways, but our objective is to make it a bit easier. We want things easy. So here, let us think of the numbers in hundreds place and group them in hundreds. Let's see if it gets easier. Okay, here, 215. I take 200 out of here. Okay, here, 200 means we have 2 units of hundreds. Now, when we distribute it, then we have 100 here, 100 here. The remaining number is 15. So 215 equals to 100 plus 100 plus the missing number here is the remaining number over here, 15. So we will write it like this. 215 equals 100 plus 100 plus 15. Okay, this was not that bad. Now let's look at the other one. Show the missing number and solve for 676. We apply the same concept, but here the number is much bigger. 676. We consider the place values and we take 600 out of here to make it easier for us. So we want to distribute the 600 into equal numbers, 2 groups of equal numbers, because we need only 2 numbers. So let's distribute these 6 units of hundreds equally. So here we will have to group it in the groups of 3 and groups of 3 in both sides, and then 300 and 300 will make 600. Then the remaining number will be 76. So here we write it as 676 is 300 plus 76. Very good. Let's try for this one. This is 312. Let's try to solve it. Here we take it in the hundreds. From here we take 300. That is the place value of number 3 in here. And break it into units. There are 3 units of the hundreds. But we only need 2 numbers here. So to distribute these hundreds equally, we will have to split one of them so that we can distribute them in 2 equal parts. So how will we do this? We will take the 100, break it into the tens units, and then we will group these tens in equal parts. We have 50, 50, and then we will join it together. We will have 100 plus 50 is 150, 100 plus 50, 150, so we have 2 same numbers. So 300 when distributed equally is 150 and 150. Here the remaining number is 12. We will write it as 312 equals 150 plus 150 plus 12. We put number 12 over here. Oh, that was a headache. Look at all this. We cannot keep doing this for all the numbers for distribution. Maths is supposed to be easy. Well, maths is easy. Let's just find out an easier way to do distribution. Let's just find out the easier way to break it down into smaller groups. Okay, So let's try this one, splitting big numbers into smaller ones. Like the concept we have done before, splitting the larger numbers into place values is a wise choice. I need to take some wood to the truck. Can you help me separate 5,672 pieces, please? Oh, we want to be kind and help him, but oh my god, look at this pile. If we count them one by one, it will take forever. We will not finish counting even until tomorrow. But we are clever. Let's put them in smaller groups, in ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands place, and maybe we will be able to count it easier. Let's do it. Okay, so let's split these logs into ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Here, in thousands, we have 5,000, 5 units of the thousands unit, 6 units of the hundreds unit makes 600, 7 units of the tens makes 70, and 2 units of ones is 2. So here, all I needed to do was to group and add together. Yes, woodcutter, that's correct. We gave him a very clever idea just now. So all he needs to do is add up the groups. 5,672 equals 5,000 plus 600 plus 70 plus 2. It's much simpler than what we did before. Let's do an activity now. Write the following numbers in the form of distribution. It just simply means break it down in simple numbers, okay? And write the symbols as equal and as plus. So you just have to spell it out. So what we did in the example before was 223 equals 200 plus 20 plus 3. And then when we have to write it in words, we have to write even the symbols in proper spellings. So this is all you have to do. It's time for practice now. So here, the activity is to write the following numbers in the form of the distribution. Distribution means break it down, make it into smaller groups of numbers. So, and write the group of words as equal for this symbol and plus for this symbol. So let's try it for 252. 252 equals 200 plus 50 plus 2. Do you see what I have done here? I have broken the number into smaller groups according to their place value. 252. So now we have to write it in words. 252 equal 200 plus 50 plus 2. This is how we solve for these kind of questions. Okay, so now you know how to solve it. You break the numbers by their place values. It is easier that way. Okay, let's try this example. You ready? Let's check with me. 544 equals 500 plus 40 plus 4. So we write it in words like this. 544 equals 400 plus 40 plus 4. Did you get it correct? Okay, let's try another one. Let's check. 892. 892 equals 800 plus 90 plus 2. Now write it in words. 892 equals 800 plus 92. Okay. Now this one. Let's solve for this one together. So we see here that 640 in here, 0 is in the place of ones. So nothing means 0, okay? So we can do like this. 600 plus 40 plus 0. 640 equals 600 plus 40 plus 0. If you write it like this, it's not a problem, but usually we don't write this part. Usually we just write up to this part. We don't usually write the 0 portion. So we can just leave it out. but this is just for understanding. So see you next time. You did a good job. Bye bye.